All right, so this Amazon FBA technique really does make launching products too easy. I used to really struggle with this. Like, okay, maybe I can get one product correct. I get it launched, I get it successful, but how do I keep doing this? Like, that took me 3 months. How am I ever gonna get to multiple products? Well, I'm gonna be covering that in today's video. Thanks so much for tuning into the channel. Be sure to subscribe and like down below for the almighty YouTube algorithm so we can reach more people like you and help them out. But other than that, let's just get into the video. So we're gonna move over into my computer, and as always, we're gonna get straight into the topic. Just me talking about the idea of finding a market where it's easy to launch multiple products to begin with. So I used to hate when people would tell me to think about the space you're going into and all this. I was like, bull crap, just find something that sells well and sell that one product. It's like, yeah, you can do that, but if it's just not related to anything else whatsoever, you're gonna have a pretty hard time selling anything. You're gonna have to restart. Product research becomes this whole big hassle. When we go into a market, like I've pulled up a very random one. I just searched Viking decor, something I found in the past. I don't know why I thought of it, but I did. And I pulled this up, and it has a bunch of stuff in it. So it's not just one thing. This is actually a pretty good example of a market where you could probably start a brand and then maybe even sell that brand for a lot of money. If you get this, brand that has a couple products that sell really well here, this is how you if you don't like product research, this video is gonna be great for you because you only have to do it like one time. You get in the right space, product research just becomes market analysis after that. It's just like, what else would this customer like? For instance, in all the markets I enter, both on my private and public Seller Central accounts, my next goal is not to find a new market. It's just, how can I approach this same customer in a new way? So whether that's originally you're selling this, Thor hammer talesman, according to this, or you're selling the witchcraft crystals, or you're selling the horn, all three of those things are in a very similar ecosystem. So all you have to do is look at what your customer is already buying from yourself or competitors similar to you. So stay in a space is what I'm getting at here. Pick something and go with that. It's going to be better for you in the long run. You can just bounce around between multiple categories and sell a bunch of random things. But ideally, the main thing that you want to do is stick to a category or a search term and roll with that. That's working really well for me personally. And it's one of the biggest projects that I'm currently working on is just going full bore for a slightly competitive search term and launching multiple products in that one space. Because pretty soon, depending on what you pick as your market, you're able to just make very slight differentiations of what you're already doing. So for instance, here we have this one. It's Viking horn. And then right next to it, we have a Viking horn, but it's black and gold instead of this kind of cream color and black. So very subtle differentiations quickly become entirely new products for you. That's what I mean when I say that product research doesn't have to really exist much anymore. It pretty much just quickly becomes analysis of what's currently working, and then how can I do that too? So what I would do if I were you, I've just handed you this one. Could be good, might not be. Find yourself a search term, and then the simplest way to do this is to just literally go find suppliers that make products in your space and ask them for a catalog. A lot of people don't use this method. A lot of people really just go off of what's right here. And we can see a lot of the stuff that's on Amazon is already showing up. But here's a good example, right? So like maybe this one isn't showing up, but under Viking decor, I saw one somewhere. This one is showing up. It actually has, I think it's been making sales, not very often, but slightly often. If that one was performing better, we could do a slight variation of that being this one and list this one because it's different. So it doesn't always have to be that you're completely customizing what you're making. It could just be as simple as you're picking something that's not in the space yet, and you're going to be the first to market, and you're going to grow it to have a couple hundred reviews before anyone can touch that product. So I tend to prefer a mix of, I've picked a product that's already slightly different than the one that I see on Amazon, and then I change something even more in addition to the one that's here, whether it's this color or something or the size of it, because then I have a truly unique product that someone can't just go to Alibaba like I did and pick this and sell it. That's almost a topic for another video. The overall thing that I want you to understand today is that the Amazon technique we're referring to, I started this video by saying this technique makes it too easy to pick other products. Go into a space that itself has a lot of products to choose from. This isn't one product, like this is a market that we're starting from. So think less narrow about what it is that you're going to be selling. Like this is not just one very specific thing, like ultra fine point black pen. Well, once you sell the ultra fine point black pen, there's nothing else to do there. So what I would say is that you should probably, if you were to sell in that market, you'd be better off with like pen, which is a horrible, horrible thing to sell. Don't sell that. But when we apply this to smaller markets, it starts to make a lot of sense. So instead of just selling Viking horn, sell Viking decor. That's your market. So now once you succeed with this one, you've created that one, you could then create the Viking tapestry and you could create the Viking incense burner, right? You could own the top positions for a market that all relate to each other. And you get a couple of products successful, you might be able to exit that business and sell the successful niche company to acquirers of Amazon FBA businesses for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's one of my goals is to sell one of my brands for either high 6 or 7 figures and then start it all over again and do it again. The more that I do this business model, the more that I learn that it's less about being incredibly smart and having this amazing eye for design as it is as almost copy and pasting. Copy and pasting relates a lot more to Amazon than like creative entrepreneurialism does. You don't have to be Gary Vee to do this business model. You don't have to be extremely persuasive like Tony Robbins to do this business model. You could be very, very normal person, and all you have to understand is what I'm talking about here. Pick a space. Now it has to meet the criteria. This space, even this one that we're using, probably not a great example, but it's just, again, we're using it as an example because it's a specific space. That's all you should be thinking of this as. I'm not showing you one specific thing. Sells well. A lot of this might not even be good, but it's a very good example of a specific space. So if you come across something like bamboo furniture, oh, maybe your first product is some piece of bamboo furniture. Now that's your thing. Go make bamboo furniture and go source more bamboo furniture and list it on Amazon. You have one size that has 2 shelves. Maybe now you make the 3-shelf variant that has a spot for towels to go on it. Right? Know who that customer is, know what they're looking for, and provide them with more options. That's going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, a dislike. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss videos like this one in the future. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Later.